As Ms. Luna from Florida.
Mr. Shapley, did the FBI first learn of the Delaware computer shop processing a laptop that allegedly belonged to Hunter Biden and contained evidence of potential crimes in October of 2019?
Did the FBI first learn of it?
Yes.
I don't know if I speak about who first learned of it.
Okay. The answer would be yes, but thank you. And isn't it true that the FBI verified the laptop's authenticity in November of 2019 by matching the device number against Hunter Biden's iCloud account?
Yeah, I believe that's in my transcript, and that's accurate.
Correct, transcript 12. The FBI analyzed the computer, correct? There was a report that the FBI CART team analysis had taken place?
Can you point to just a page of my transcript so that
Page 12.
Okay, page 12.
Or transcript 12.
So could you repeat the question, please?
Just isn't it true that the FBI verified the laptop's authenticity in November of 2019 by matching the device number against Hunter Biden's iCloud account?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. And they performed an FBI CART team analysis?
Yes, that's yes.
Mr. Ziegler, did you see this report?
I don't think that I talked about that in my transcript.
Correct. I'm assuming that that was probably very frustrating, being that you were conducting an investigation.
So I can speak to this again because I did contemporaneously document a long meeting about the laptop, and Special Agent Ziegler confirmed in that, and it was released in House Ways and Means Committee testimony, that he pointed out individual pieces of data that he was provided, and then he asked why he hadn't seen other pieces of data. And that's when Assistant United States Attorney Wolf told them that prosecutors were withholding information from the investigators.
And I think what's important with withholding, they never said what they were withholding. So I think that is like important.
So to my understanding, the U.S. Attorney said that you haven't seen it because for a variety of reasons, they kept it from the agents. So they kept this information from you. I think it's important to know, correct?
That's correct.
Okay. Isn't it relevant evidence for you and your team to review, Mr. Ziegler, that this type of evidence would help you to conduct your investigation?
So in an everyday normal investigation, you would want to know, you're the investigators, we're the ones that are supposed to process the information and provide the relevant information to the prosecutors. So we should know absolutely everything that we're looking at because we might testify to it one day.
So it's safe to say that it's not a normal practice to withhold evidence from agents reviewing a case?
It's not a normal practice to withhold and not tell us what you're withholding from us.
Do you know who made that decision to withhold information from the agents?
That I do not know, and
Okay.
it's not in my transcript.
Okay. Mr. Shapley, and your team are learning about the existence of this information, and you are being denied information at the same time. And this is October 2020, correct? Time frame?
Yes.
At that same time, did you remember Hunter Biden's laptop being discussed or rather suppressed by the media?
I generally remember the discussion of the laptop. I think everybody heard about the laptop. I don't know if I knew about the media suppressing it.
So I think it's important to note that the FBI learns about the laptop in 2019. That's 2019, not 2020. And in fact, the FBI authenticated the laptop in November of 2019, then takes possession of the laptop, does analysis, but these analyses and information are not provided to you guys, the IRS agents conducting the case. Mind you, the folks running the nuts and bolts of the criminal tax fraud case. They're learning about all this information and yet at the same time being denied access to it. Meanwhile, the media is actively working to suppress that. And at the same time, 51 national security officials sign on to a letter saying that the FBI, of which the FBI has authenticated, saying that it is Russian disinformation. This is, mind you, Joe Biden's son, which I think it's important to note that many of my colleagues try to make this about race and saying that there's a two-tier justice system for black and brown people, and yet we are investigating, according to their terms, a man of white privilege who is being aided and abetted by this administration and being criminally covered for by the Department of Justice, and yet somehow that's not supposed to be a topic of discussion. I have 41 seconds left. Would you guys like to say anything for the record so the American people can know what's really happening in this country?
So I do have something. So there's two things. I believe that AUSA Leslie Wolf and U.S. Attorney David Weiss would say phenomenal things about my work, and I know they have said that. They have said that we did a great job in this investigation. I want to make that clear to everyone, that this isn't, we're not disgruntled, we're not out here to get people. We're here for accountability and that we learn from this. That's the most important part of why we're here.
Well, you are doing great, and I know that you are not conservative. I know you're not a Republican, but I will say this. Thank you for at least bringing faith back to some part of the IRS so that people understand that just because your last name is Biden does not mean that you're held above the law. So thank you. Chairman, I yield my time.